Tingego. Pursuant to the audit we received, and this one arose as an ancillary matter. And for the benefit of Mr. Semakula and your team who were not here yesterday, we did enter into engage in an inquiry into something that has been in public domain for some 2 months now, of money, millions of dollars that went missing. Part of the money found its way in a bank in London, United Kingdom. In another large portion or larger portion of the same found its way into Japan, a bank in Japan. So we asked your bankers how we lost that money. I don't need to introduce that subject. If you are serious at your job, you know the subject. So we were informed that actually Bank of Uganda as a bank works on instructions from their client. And the client now is the Republic of Uganda, ably or otherwise represented by the Ministry of Finance. And that the chief paymaster is Mr. Semakula, who is in front of us. So tell us about the subject, what you know, and then we shall see how to proceed. For the benefit of colleagues, Mr. Semakula had a very, very busy schedule this morning. I want to thank him for sparing time, just like the Bank of Uganda, but in him in particular, he has an engagement which was pre-scheduled, but we agreed that he will give us 1 hour of his time today. So as we interact with him, kindly bear that in mind. We do not want to be discourteous. Please proceed and tell us.
Right, thank you very much, Chair and members. It is true, as you have been reading in the papers, that somehow this is a subject of investigations that we are undertaking, so that we know how this could have happened. Because we have been on our systems, we have checked the instructions that we did give, did not have those beneficiaries that eventually got the monies. And I want to emphasize, Chair, that us at Bank of Uganda are one, because they are our bankers, we are the client. So we are trying our level best to understand.
You also sit on their board. Is that true?
Yes, as the ministry.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
So
we are one.
Through the PSST.
That's true. So we are trying our level best to be able to understand how this could have happened, so that it does not reoccur. We have engaged, the Auditor General has engaged the special audit. We have the police forensics that are also on the premises to be able to, for us to understand exactly what happened, so that based on that, then we are able to see how we proceed. I really want to emphasize in that we have looked at our information that we have. We do not have those beneficiaries as registered service providers of government. Because for us to be able to pay you as any supplier of government, you must be registered on a government payment system. And these people are not registered. So it is important for us to be able then to understand how this could have occurred for a non-registered government supplier receiving money. So this is something that we are really investigating, and we hope that the investigations should be out soon, and then we can know the facts. And then based on that, we can see how to proceed. Chair.
When did this happen?
The first transaction was they were in September. They happened in September.
No, be specific now. Refer to your documents, if any. You have the accounting officer, treasury operation. You have an entire team, Madam Jennifer Muhuruzi. Bijirwa.
Yes, Chair.
When did this occur?
Chair, this happened on the 15th of September 2024. We had maturities for public debt. And for every debt, maybe just a little bit of a background, for every debt that we contract, we normally agree with our creditors to have maturity dates. And these are it is usually paid twice in a year. For this particular transaction, the first one, which was a payment meant to go to the IDA, the due date was 15th September 2024. And because we already have some understanding with the central bank, and we have what we call a T+2 arrangement to be able to give us an opportunity to understand and agree to the payments properly. So we started processing the payment earlier, and we started on 9th, and on 12th, the payment was remitted to the Bank of Uganda. So this is on 12th that the payment is leaving the Ministry of Finance to go to the Bank of Uganda, because its maturity date is the 15th of September 2024. And normally we work very tightly to make sure that we do not default. So that was the date for the 137.75 US dollars that was meant to go to IDA with respect to interest and principal.
Okay. And then the second one?
The second one, we processed it on the 20th of September 2024. That's when we remitted it to the central bank, and this was going to the ADF, US dollar 8,596,824. 596,824.26. So this was with respect to ADF. Yes, Chair.
Mr. Semakula, while you were speaking, I kept writing what I considered key. November to October, to November, to December. Those are 3 months. You do not know. Is that part of what you call trying or doing your best? With this huge amount of money in the public domain, anxiety everywhere in the country, after 3 months, you do not know, and you're saying you're doing your best. Is that the best you can do for us?
Chair, as I said, I think this was the first of its kind, and it's a very complicated issue. We do not want to come to conclusion very fast, so we really need to understand. It's a very complicated issue. You know, we have to go through all the transactions that we have transacted. We have to go backwards to see if there could have been any other incident like that before. We have to, for example, to image the computers and try to see if there are any deletions from anywhere. So it's really a long process, but we are hoping that we should be able to, maybe with the Auditor General, in the next, maybe maximum 1 month, we should complete and be sure.
You know, I'm a very conservative Christian. And Jesus told us that he was coming back very soon. In my attempt, or trying like you also, trying to understand what very soon meant, so that I don't withdraw my trust and hope, I learned that one day, in our eyes, is 40 years now, in the eyes of God. So you want us to maybe translate into the biblical one, that you're trying and working hard means and includes the biblical version. Okay, we shall nonetheless proceed. Who in your office instructed Bank of Uganda to make this payment, on either for and on behalf of the Accountant General?
Chair, I think you see the payment process, and even I think Bank of Uganda will say the same. We have tried as much as possible to automate it. And automation means that each person at a different level, you do your input. For example, what do I mean? In that the treasury operations people, because this falls under their mandate, they are the ones who initiate the process. They initiate.
They are called the treasury operations.
Yes, they initiate. But so when they initiate, it goes to the payment side. Now,
we are talking about Mrs. Muhuruzi.
So they initiate, and when they initiate, now it goes to the general, what we call the payment side. Now the payment side, for it they do what they call an amalgamation.
Now let's take us slow, because you know we have not been there.
Okay.
Now, from the team of Mrs. Muhuruzi, who are those particular persons that initiated? Before we go to the payment side, now we are still at treasury operations. They are initiating. Who are those that initiated?
Chair, I don't know if you indulge with us, because
I will always do.
Because for me, when you told me to come, I basically came on my own with the few person that I could come, because we had an engagement.
You know, Mrs. Muhuruzi is just seated on your immediate right.
Yes, she is.
She's the docket holder.
So I don't know if she also could have gone into the system to know, because
it would actually be a big offense.
Okay.
It would be treasonable for her not to have gone into the system.
So I wanted the chair to talk about the general, and then we can come to the specifics.
No, because you told me you have 1 hour.
Okay.
I will not undertake the lecture of knowing the entire operation system because of your time limitation. For me, I have all the time up to midnight, including tomorrow. Now, I want to know specifically in this, because 3 months, Mrs. Muhuruzi must have also looked into her system and have a trail. So, Mrs. Jennifer Bijirwa Muhuruzi. Bijirwa, yes, Muhuruzi. Tell us who in your team handled this particular transaction. And by the way, even for Bank of Uganda, we do not want to hold them for the entire day. They are doing a lot of work. Madam, get onto the microphone. Oh, by the way, for this, you could even sacrifice the salaries.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as we are trying to explain, payment processing is indeed a process at various stages. So we have officers who start the process, and the process will start by us receiving the bills from the particular creditor. Then we have officers who will do the reconciliation.
Yes, but let's not talk into generalities. So did you receive bills from the creditors?
Yes,
These
we
two
did.
creditors?
Yes, we did.
Do you have those bills with you here?
Not here, but we received the bills.
Please submit the same by close of business today.
Okay. So when we received the bills, we indeed reconciled them.
We reconciled them. Who reconciled them?
Maureen.
Maureen who?
Maureen Kichoncho did the reconciliation.
Maureen Kichoncho.
Yes.
Yes.
Did the reconciliation, and they tally with our system.
Did the reconciliation.
Which is the debt management and the financial analysis system.
Who else? Anyone else?
That's
okay. After Maureen reconciling or doing the reconciliation, where did it go?
It now comes through the assistant commissioner, and at that point.
Who is the assistant commissioner?
That is Mubarak.
Who?
Mubarak.
Mubarak. Mubarak who?
Nasamba.
Masamba.
Nasamba.
Nasamba.
So yes. At that point, we now raise an internal memo
So what does Nasamba do? What did he
To
do?
review and also confirm.
Reviewed and confirmed.
Review and confirm, and then also to raise an internal memo to the accounting
No, not to raise,
officer.
raised.
Raised.
Now we're talking about past tense.
Yeah.
Raised an internal memo.
Raised an internal memo that came to the accounting officer for authorization to process that payment. So that came...
To authorize payment. Yes. Authorize payment.
Myself, Jennifer, yeah. So that came to me as the accounting officer, and I authorized for both transactions.
So number 3 now is I authorized.
Yes.
Payment.
Authorized payment. And
to who? Payment to who?
When I authorize payment, I'm giving authority to...
No. Who is the beneficiary?
IDA.
IDA.
The first one was
And
IDA, and then the second one
is
to
ADF.
ADF.
ADF here we mean the African Development Fund.
Correct.
So don't misquote her that they were paying Allied Democratic Forces. Yes, I want us to go process by process so that we understand each other.
Yes.
So after authorizing, who do you submit to?
After authorizing, I return them and say this is authorized, and then
I return to who?
To it is going to Maureen, but through Mubarak. So then they now again capture it on the system.
Wait, Mubarak. Who captures?
On the system. Maureen is capturing on the system.
She captures on the system.
IFMIS, yes, on the integrated
But Doreen is not Nasamba. Nasamba is Mubarak. Doreen is Chichoncho. So, Maureen received.
Yes. For input.
Okay. She input.
Yes.
We are going to learn how you operate so that immediately after Parliament, I'm going to apply for a job in Ministry of Finance because I'll be knowing what to do.
Okay.
Yes, after that inputting.
After inputting, then it now has to be approved on the IFMIS.
It was then approved.
Then approved.
It was then approved. We are talking about past.
Oh, sorry, Chair, about that.
It was then
approved for
approved on
for payment.
Who approved?
Mubarak approved on the system.
Is there something like a password?
Yes, there is.
And the password is now in Mubarak's hand.
Yes.
Okay.
So after approving, that's when now the payments go to the payments team, which is central at...
Goes to the payments team.
Which is central at the Treasury.
Now, in the payments team, we want to know who it went to, because now we are talking about the past. Presumably, you know. Now it is no longer team, but particular individuals.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that I want to, because for me, I thought that since this was dealing basically with the treasury operations, so I only came with the treasury operations.
Yes. Okay.
But otherwise, there is a central payments team.
That's okay, don't worry. For you are going to tell us up to the point where, you've sent it to the X, team X. But now for you, as it has happened, now you know. We will get them, we will have them. Their house is not on fire. We will have them at another occasion. So now, central at the Treasury. That's why we have stopped with Jennifer. So from there, what happened? We are now back to you.
Yes, now you are back to me, but I'll talk in general terms because the responsible commissioner is not here. So now, what usually happens?
Who is the responsible commissioner?
It's called Chigani Daniel. Yes. So, but what happens for that team?
Wait. Mr. Semakula.
Yes.
Our letter of invitation to you dated yesterday, and we are very grateful that at short notice you were able to make it.
Yes.
We did mention the subject And you know that if it is the subject, the person responsible, the person is responsible, should all be here.
The chair has indicated to you, this letter was received towards 6. And I called you, I said, although I have engagement, all the ministry staff, when we had engagement at that time, I'll make sure that I come.
Yeah, and
but should you want another clarification, please,
yes, and
we can arrange.
I will continue to thank you.
Yeah.
We agreed in that telephone conversation that you come with those that you're able to bring. You have been able to bring only these ones. The rest are in that engagement.
Yes.
Okay. But now that the events happen, you have not just a general picture, even the specific ones, a specific picture of what happened, because you must have done your own inquiry.
Yes, I do, Honorable.
Before we get Mr. Chigenyi.
That is why I'm saying that let's come and do this. I give you the general, and then
okay, we shall determine whether there are specifics
and then you
need to give us.
The specifics.
So after here, Central at the Treasury, what happened?
Now, Central at the Treasury, we have a payment team. Now, this payment team handles all the votes. Basically, for them, is not to do anything, any transaction apart from formatting. So we shall have received payments from Parliament, payments from Defense, payments from Education, payments from Treasury Operations, and amalgamate them into a file based on the funding for that day.
Yes.
Yes. So for them, they don't look at specifics. They are general on that.
Okay.
They are general. So after that, the formatting, then a file is created. So on the system, you have a full file that today, these are the payments that are getting from the Treasury and which have gone to the bank. At that point, yes.
Yes. Now, from your findings, who handled this particular one?
Chair, I said that's why I'm saying that I really need to come and have a discussion on that specifically, so that I go and, because I didn't know what you want to ask me, whether it's a specific operation or
okay.
so on.
Yeah. When we talked, I told you to come with all the relevant documents. Did you bring? Have you come with them?
I couldn't raise them, Chair.
Why?
Because as I said, that you gave me really little time.
Okay.
And I said, but because now the files are in different offices. So
I see you with some documents. You managed to get a few.
No, these are mine for my reference. But if you need,
okay, you refer to them.
No, it's not possible, because those ones are not there. These were the general correspondence between us and the bank, not the specific.
Do they say who was being paid?
From the bank, yes, it says.
Who do you say?
From the bank, I see they said Roadway Company Limited.
No, not from the bank. From you.
No, from us it was very clear. IDA, ADF. This from our report, because it is our report which is the last. So if you have to do any changes.
Okay, Roadway. You were reading Roadway?
From the bank, yes, not
from the bank. Who wrote from
the bank? They say Roadway. That was the director banking. Roadway Company Limited.
Director banking, writing to whom?
No, this was confirming to the accounting officer, Treasury Operations.
No. The director banking is telling who?
Accounting officer. When she requested, it says we sent money to IDA and ADF, but this money has not reached. So what happened? Then the director wrote back and said, incidentally, these FTs, we have these payments to these people who are not known to us. So
the director banking is saying, these
payments,
people are not.
Although you say that these payments were for so and so, but these payments we see the final pay.
You see, don't use so and so, because the record will not get the particular. Let me help you.
Chair, this is
but I'm saying give it to me.
So,
you know I can compel you. I'm sensitive. But at the same time, I will not hide, or we will not hide the information. As he said, this was on 17th October 24, The accounting officer, stroke treasury operations, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, signed by Charles Mugisa, a director. It is from Bank of Uganda. He's saying, we have noted with concern that the mentioned EFTs, and names them, dated September 10th, 2024, and EFT, that one of 26th September 24, were processed STP, but not paid to the beneficiaries you mentioned in your letters as per the table. And he mentions them, and they are saying Roadway Company Limited, MUFG Bank, Japan, the 6.134, 137.7.5. Okay, where the intended payee was International Development Association, but the final payee was that one, African Development Fund. The money went to MJS International, but this is post now.
Yeah.
It is after. Okay, I have seen this. So this is one letter of October 17th, 2024 from BOU, Office of Director Banking. Can we look at your document which named the right beneficiary? I'll return this. But give me the one which...
I hope you return, sir.
I'll return. Yours to the auditors?
Yes, they do.
What makes you think you cannot submit them to us?
We have submitted all this, Chair.
Okay, 10th October 24. Director Banking, Bank of Uganda. It is from Jennifer Muhuruzi Bijirwa. Request for confirmation of foreign exchange transaction, EFT number 14380401. A transaction amounting to 6.13, I mentioned, was processed for the benefit of International Development Association. Confirmation was received from the bank that the transaction was successfully executed, and this was reflected in the corresponding bank statement as shared via email on 11th September 2024. It has come to our notice that IDA has not yet received the above funds. In light of the above, I request you to confirm remittance of the funds to IDA's account by availing the respective SWIFT advice for verification purposes. Please note that these funds relate to debt service which is overdue. Mrs. Muhuruzi, you are making reference to confirmation which was made.
Yes,
Do you have a copy of that confirmation which was made by Bank of Uganda that they remitted?
Yes, Chair. When we process payments which go to the central team, after they have been remitted to the Bank of Uganda, normally we get feedback through again the same department.
So you got feedback?
Yes.
Where is it? You have it?
Chair, I don't have that feedback.
It's okay. We shall have it.
Okay.
It's not here with you.
No, it's not here with me. But,
To be submitted before close of business today.
Okay.
Okay. And for the documents that I ask you to deliver, please make sure you deliver by hand to the clerk. And he acknowledges receipt. In your presence, he puts in an envelope, seals, you both sign on that enclosing bit of the envelope. Why? We do not want to be accused of leaking your documents, but we also sensitive to the operations of both the bank and the ministry, especially the bank. The ministry is our political establishment. The bank does a professional job elsewhere, and the documents will not be shared. I will also not touch them in the absence of the clerk. My members will not touch them in the absence of the clerk and myself. So I want to address your sensitivities. So this is now 10th October. The other one was September 27th. Was it 17th? Yes. So on October 24th, there is a letter from the director to the director banking from your ministry, and it is signed by Lawrence Semakula, now Accountant General. I think that's when you had come in. And of course, Mr. Semakula is affirming that the person, the beneficiary you are mentioning, called Roadway, is not known to us and is not on their database as a service provider, and no contract known to you. That is Mr. Semakula. 24th October 2024, letter from Accountant General. Okay. Mr. Semakula, from 24th October, where do we go?
So we held a meeting between ourselves and the bank and agreed on certain measures to do. The first one was that we should do a forensic to establish, as I said, that we really need to establish, because this is an incident that had never occurred to us, so we really need to establish how this could have happened. We did agree, establish through a forensic audit. Then we also said that we should recall the funds. Bank of Uganda should now take all necessary measures to recall the funds. We did agree that should be reported to police, because this now becomes a police case. And for us, again, as a ministry, we did agree later that we should also involve Financial Intelligence Authority, since they have jurisdictions all over the world, to be able to help us so that we know these people whom they are. So we also wrote a letter to Financial Intelligence Authority to assist us. So I didn't carry one. Did I carry one? Yeah, I didn't carry one. Oh, just check. I didn't carry one, check. So, but that's what we did, and we embarked on that forensic review, and when we went to police, the police advised us that it would be much more better for us to also engage the Auditor General, since so
to do the forensic audit.
Now we had agreed that since it was a matter of urgency, Bank of Uganda gets somebody to immediately at least give us the basics of what could have happened. But then later we said, no, we need to do a further detailed, because now if we get only one and is contracted by the BOU, we think maybe might not be independent. That was what some people thought, that it might not be independent. So let's get an independent person, and that's when we agreed that the Auditor General is an independent person who can authoritatively audit the Bank of Uganda and ourselves to be able to establish the truth.
Okay.
And that's why we are.
Okay. Okay, colleagues, you had submit them in yellow.
I need two clarifications. First of all, they are talking at cross purposes. When the deputy governor appeared before us yesterday, it appeared that management at Bank of Uganda had taken some bit of investigations with agencies not mentioned specifically by the accountant general. The accountant general. Honorable Chair, can I just get a minute to lay my...
No, you see, when you leave that one,
I'm going to...
The agencies in particular.
Yes, for example, I think the Bank of Uganda management specifically talked about CID.
Yes.
And I think that was the specific...
And KPMG.
And KPMG.
Yes. PWC, sorry.
Okay, PWC.
PWC.
And we sought for the mandate under which they are doing it. Now,
let me clarify on that, Honorable Swami.
No,
I don't think there is a problem with that.
Can I please lay my fears? Because
okay, put your fears.
You are not confused. I'm the one who's really confused.
You're the one who is confused.
So I need to get clarification. Thank you, sir. They are talking about the Auditor General, which is a clear mandate. Now, what I wanted to know, these two institutions, with all due respect, they are actually involved in this entire saga. The population out there is really asking what really happened for Bank of Uganda or Minister of Finance to go into this ditch. And now they are the same people commissioning the investigations without any external or independent force. The law is very clear. The Auditor General is under us. So they should have written to the Speaker and get some bit of involvement. Independently, Minister of Finance, you have no control whatsoever to deal directly with the Auditor General under the law. At least I know that mandate. Now that you are doing it, under which specific mandate, and what kind of assurance are you giving us, outsiders, that this is going to be independent and transparent? Then two, and that's the final one. Honorable Chair, when you talk of a forensic audit, it's different from ordinary audit. And now the Accountant General is saying, I don't have this, I'm not aware about this. Now, what kind of forensic audit are they doing when you, the provider of the information, you are ignorant or evasive?
Before I allow them to get you out of the system within Bank of Uganda, that whatever comes from Minister of Finance is automatically handled in the system and paid as it has been presented. And it even insinuated that probably there is even no need for human involvement. It is computerized system. Now, the narrative from the Minister of Finance is to the effect that for them, they indicated the right recipients as per equal documents you have cited, some of them. Now, we cannot be taken for a ride. Both of them must at this point know at what stage did the recipient name change, even before we look at the documents. At what stage? Because that is the immediate inquiry one will find out. Taking us around the circle, that this is happening, this will be welcome in terms of information. But let's get a precise position. Yes, you indicated that you are paying IDF. At what point? And the Bank of Uganda Deputy Governor was telling us, for them what comes from your ministry is automatically paid in the findable system. And he said there was no fraud in terms of cyber fraud from his narrative of yesterday. So we want to understand now, if the documents we are saying pay IDF and other recipients, and the governor is saying there was no cyber fraud. Now, at what stage did the recipient name change? Guide me on who we should lock up, because I'm also itching.
Chair,
tell me who we should lock up.
Number one is the deputy governor. And then this, I don't know what his name is, Accountant General. The two of them. And Chair, I'm equally praying that we must put them on oath, because they know the truth. And they are just taking us for a raid. Let's put them on
But you
oath.
see, you're answering my question
Yes.
on who I should arrest. And I want to sign that. Now you're running to the civil bit. Arresting is a criminal process.
Chair,
So
Chair,
guide me.
in the
Deputy
continuation-
Governor, I charge him with what? Detain him?
Chair,
What
Chair,
do we put on the
Chair, the
detention
first step of securing accuracy, and it's within our rules, is to put the top.
Supposing he gives you a document saying, Mr. Semakulak told me to pay roadway.
Chair, in the situation where we are in, that he alluded to the fact that there was no fraud.
There is
anywhere.
no situation
From their answers.
from us.
Yeah, from their answers. The rules allows us to test their accuracy, principally by first of all putting them on oath, so that they speak the truth. Otherwise, they are deceiving us intentionally.
Mwadankunyi.
And here, you said they are witnesses, but to us, these are suspects.
To you and who?
To us
You
as
and your
people,
family.
to us as people, I remember Parliament.
You mean I'm not
These are people
one of the
responsible
people?
for national resources. They mismanaged it. Money is lost in the billions. They are here just loitering
Yes,
with irrelevant answers. The relevant answers are one: tell us at what stage did you realize that the money is going to a wrong recipient? When did the recipient name change? Let's start from there.
Honorable
And what
Mwada,
did you do?
Honorable Mwada,
Have you suspended any staff involved
Now
in your
receive-
hierarchy?
okay.
Chair, this people are very annoying.
you have, you see, okay, now switch off the microphone. First of all, I will never allow you to get annoyed. I am one of the people you are referring to. But now, you and I have distinguished ourselves to sit here and listen. You know, and I know you know, you are a lawyer of some sizable standing. The right to a fair hearing is non-derogable. We say as lawyers that every man is entitled to a fair hearing, however capricious that man may appear to be. We will continue to listen them in fairness. You see, we will dispose one by one. How do you put the deputy governor on oath when he's not even on the stand?
He's not above the law.
He's actually
and
under
he
the
should not intimidate anyone's eyes.
I am now
Let's put him on
advising
oath.
you to turn off that
Chair,
microphone.
once
I
he's
am,
in Parliament and summoned,
I'm sure you agree
not
with me.
intimidate anyone's eyes. Let's put him on
Honorable
oath. So he
Mwada,
speaks the
I'm
truth.
sure you agree with me that I'm heard in silence. Okay? You have made your submission. Hear my guidance in silence. And kindly don't turn on that microphone before I authorize you. No procedure. You cannot put me on procedure. Honorable Kayo, you know the rules. I am guiding, you put me on procedure. You see, I'm the one on the floor. Procedure relates to the person on the floor. Okay, colleagues, listen, let's do it this way. Let's receive all the documents we want. I will not exercise any power of the High Court with respect to receiving documents when I'm receiving them. In the normal course, it has not failed. That's number one. Number two, I am guiding that there is no suspect before us. We have witnesses and we are going to deal with them as such. Number three, no witness is going to hide in other processes which are extraneous to the process of Parliament. If there is anything that you think is confidential, you tell us, we make a ruling on it. So, we are not locking up anyone at this stage. We are proceeding as normal. Honorable Kabashaira?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, in Mombasa. But I'm happy I've listened to you, I've listened to the presentations. I did not listen to the presentation yesterday, but from what I've picked, I tend to agree with you, Chairman, that we first get information, the documents, because there is ping-pong between the two institutions. One is saying, the client is saying, I told you this. The other one is saying, no, you told me this, and money went. So unless if we get the documents, because I'm sure they are there, they even have, I've seen a good number of IT. You know, these days, some of us who were born in BBC, and these ones who are in IT, they seem to be taking a lot of advantage over the other. And we used to say that a click of a pen, but these days it is a click of the button, and things change. And I'm sure if we go slowly, there is this Maureen whom they have mentioned, there is Mubarak, there is things just stand like this and that. I think we might even be castigating the wrong people. The small people that are there, maybe high ones can also be in the know, but those who played the games, I think they can easily be caught if we take it slowly. Slowly with time, we shall.
It could even be an act of God.
We shall reach.
Interrogations will tell us whether it is an act of God.
Yes.
You know, in common law, we had an act of God and then enemies of the state. So we will find out who it is.
So I think we also need to give the Accountant General time to get us the right documents, and also the
some
right
of the right documents are going to be here now today.
And
the
also,
others will come.
And also to interact with those people that they have mentioned, Chairman. Whoever was in the line, because the process is long and there are many people who are involved. So who did this and that? We should eventually, I think, get.
Let's go to COSASE.
We dealt with one witness, and he was alone in the Bank of Uganda. Today, that witness is sitting here with another witness, the client, Minister of Finance. Where I come from, they say that when you listen to one witness, you may not judge properly until you have listened to the second and the third. And I'm glad that the Accountant General has told us what seemingly seems to be the truth. I want to say.
Point of order, Honorable Mwaga.
Chair,
Mwada.
Chair is proceeding alludes to a submission as the truth, when actually we are still interrogating, and we have even made prayers that you put them on oath, presupposing that we are in high doubt. Is it in order?
He's in order because there is no presumption of guilt. Actually, the presumption is to the contrary. When a witness is telling you, you will assume that he's telling you the truth.
You cannot be saying the truth before disclosing the whereabouts of the money.
You see, when you raise a point of order, you are guided. It is answered. I'm saying we do not simply have evidence that money was lost. They have admitted, the custodian has admitted that money was lost. We don't need proof on that. We don't need to prove that. What we are looking for is that who lost our money, who stole it, and presumably the evidence given by the Accountant General is correct. The evidence given by Bank of Uganda is correct. There is evidence which has not been given to us, which will now tell us. So far the evidence has not told us who lost our money. The evidence we are digging for and which we must get is who lost our money. We are yet to come to Bank of Uganda. We actually know some of the people who stole our money. The fraudster called Roadway. Wait, the fraudster called Roadway stole our money. We want to know exactly. No. I overrule you on that. There is no accomplice so far established. We will get the accomplices because we say money was in a wardrobe. The door to the house was not broken into. The wardrobe key is with someone. The wardrobe was not broken into. So who had the safe itself is safe. So we want to know who facilitated, who provided the key. And colleagues, let us not spend time on procedural guidances, on basic things. Honorable Mujungu, proceed.
Thank you for protecting what I told us. We feed the system. On the opposite side, they receive. They also reply. But fortunately, the client has told us the beneficiary changed along the chain. And this is very critical, I think, Mr. Chairman, in this meeting. However, Chair, I wanted the Accountant General to come clear. Yes. He's a professional accountant. Yes. And he's sitting on the head of the economy, Minister of Finance. To say that this incident was unprecedented, therefore they needed magical knowledge maybe to handle it, is far-fetched from him. I believe the ministry has internal controls. My brother alluded to it. How do you manage risk in the ministry? Did this one fall within the domain of the risk dollars? We are talking about an equivalent of 5 seed schools. 5 seed schools in this country, stolen, lost. Yes. Mr. I'm just talking about $6 million. One tranche. Okay, Mr. Chair, that the accountant has not showed seriousness over the level of this risk. Secondly, Chair.
Now, you've told us that Maureen is almost the last person in terms of approval. Is that true? Mubarak.
You need to answer
yes,
that for
Mubarak is the last person.
Yes, Mubarak
in terms
is the
of
last
approval.
person.
Is that true?
In terms of action.
Chair, it is the accounting officer, but when the accounting officer is not available, then that role is delegated.
So in this case, who of the two?
In this case, was the accounting officer available?
Yes, the accounting officer was available, but invoice approval had been delegated to Mubarak.
So in this case, it's Mubarak.
Mubarak.
So, did Mubarak approve this transaction when BOU was requesting for your approval?
Chair, the way it works is after the payments have been sent to the bank and we get the feedback, which I talked about through the central department that processes the payments. It is by way of statements. So then
wait. Deputy Governor, you told us yesterday that when you are to authorize payment, you first send to finance for approval, and that approval takes 2 days. So the question is, when you sent requesting for authorization from finance, did you, through Mubarak, approve or authorize the payment? Don't take us through the stories.
No, it is not stories, but the process is in such a way that when I have my invoices sent, they are showing who is to be paid, and this is managed centrally. So when we send them to the BOU, we now receive feedback, and this usually is by exception. And always what we do is we are interested in the exceptions, and the exceptions would be that now you wanted to pay IDA, but it has bounced. Maybe the account is closed or they are not there. When you don't get an exception, then it means the payment has gone as per the instruction. And then an email to that effect is also sent to say you wanted to pay IDA, we paid IDA.
Mr. Chairman, allow me that the governor repeats the words he said yesterday in regard to seeking approval or authorization for payments.
Why no? Is because you do not allow one witness to interfere into the submission of another. You let each witness put their case across, independent and separate of the other. Why we organized this meeting this way is we want the governor to hear what the other people said. I summarized the gist of what he said in their absence. We are going to record their evidence. When it comes to the bank side, we will record it separately.
Okay,
Clarification on that, sorry Mzari to disturb. I just want to get it from Jennifer. When the Bank of Uganda requested in those 2 days, you are talking of who this and that, who authorized that email was so confirmed that please go on and pay. Not that process you are telling us who did it, because I'm sure there is someone to do it.
actually in high
Right.
Honorable Kabasharira, first the questions should be pointed. One, was that request made? Two, did you make the verification or confirmation?
Mr. Chairman has put it right.
Mr. Chairman, from the explanation I've got from her, she was trying to explain that it is under exceptional circumstances that she is required to respond. Otherwise, when they have sent, they leave it to them.
So
What
your
they
follow-up
wait for-
question should be, was there a request for them to confirm in this case?
She has answered it.
That
In this case, they did.
you answered. There was a confirmation, right?
No, she's saying they didn't.
No, go to the microphone. The witness is here.
Chair, I would need to confirm that. Let my colleague return, and then we can confirm that. But for
Okay.
me, what I know is that after payments have been sent and they have been received by the bank, the system will generate a payment advice, and that we receive immediately, saying that this person has been paid, and then the EFT number is also showing. So that we received,
Mr. Chairman,
No,
and we are
we are not. We are at a point of, was there verification? No, we are at a point of, was there confirmation that proceed and pay? That is the sticky point where we are. Did you?
Mr. I wanted to...
The issue raised by Honorable Naomi Kabasharira off the mic is valid because I kept asking even the governor. She says somebody is going to get back to her and confirm, give us an answer. Whether in the affirmative, she's still here. Whether in the affirmative or not. We will allow Honorable Muzari to continue with that question pending.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
Or you want to answer? She was pressing the mic.
Sure.
Was that?
is when we received the preliminary statement,
Yes.
it was indicating idea to which
And that was
we were comfortable.
before payment.
Yes.
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 Can we have that? Which was saying, which was the inquiry?
Which was showing that
You have understood my question? Can we have that communication? Before close of business.
From the bank.
When the bank inquired and it was indicating
Idea.
The right recipient.
Okay, Chair.
By close of business today.
Okay, Chair. That's okay.
Martin, please.
That's good, Mr. Chairman. I think the investigation is very simple. We only need that document and it will ease our work. Now, my only disappointment is this case has been in the domain for some months, but up to today you don't have information on your fingertips. That's why I'm disappointed, because like for instance, Madam Jennifer, by now you should be with all the information. Who approved, what happened. Information should be flowing very fast. We don't want to act like our colleague. So now to the accounting officer. Accounting officer, there is a department called the payment section.
Do I need CID to go and arrest my CID or let's find out? I hope they have not disappeared in my paper.
Now, in the payment section, there is a team also that handled these files. Have you at least had a meeting between the two departments that handle these transactions to find out what exactly happened? Because it looks like the way you are telling us, you literally even have no knowledge of who exactly in the payment section handled this file. That alone explains that you've not taken enough of your efforts.
Okay. The question is clear.
No, Chair,
have you answer?
Chair, what is not clear?
Just wait, Honorable Sevambi.
Just
allow him the intervention.
You know, Basoga will take some time to finish. Can you allow him to finish?
You will finish. You will have all the time.
The point Honorable Muzare is raising,
yes,
is actually also raising our sugar levels. Because now these people are here being massaged. Have you, for example, committed people or interdicted those officers as forensic is going on, but you are just here being massaged? No, no. Honorable Ozima, sorry, Honorable Muzare, specifically go further to say, you guys, you are here before us.
I don't allow coaching. I gave you your time.
And Chair, we insisted on that point yesterday.
We insisted. Who gave you the microphone? Switch off the microphone.
Through you.
Switch off the microphone. Martin Muzare.
We are giving thank you, Chair.
Martin Muzare.
Chair, thank you so much.
No.
Thank you so much.
Switch off the microphone.
Muzare.
Oh, no information. Proceed on Muzare.
Colleagues, let me finish. Now, Accountant General, have you ever conducted a meeting so that we can get some minutes of what transpired in that meeting? Because we need to understand how far have you gone with this issue. Because colleagues want to understand your level of seriousness. Those meetings.
Minutes by close of business today.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, lastly, we have what we call the IT sections, the IT experts. Because if I'm to pick it from what the Deputy Governor yesterday said, you know, these things are automated, what and so on. We want to know,
Honorable Svambi,
with all the money that we are paying the IT experts here, at what point could you help us to identify this fraud? Because in some other institutions, if anything happens from your computer, someone else will know that you are the person who originated it here. So can we know from the IT department, finance, you tell us, who, at what point did this fraud happen?
Forgive me for this interjection. I am not to speak. He said there was a breach, and we are now going through the process of knowing where the breach is. I want to excuse Mr. Semakula, but before excusing him to leave, one, he will nominate a representative to remain behind. Two, I want us to go through the documents. Give me one document which said pay IDA.
And the chair, he also needs to answer our questions before he goes.
Wait. You see, Honorable Mwada, I am not a novice at this. Give me a document which says pay IDA. Good. PAY is International Development Association, and the date is 9th September 2024. It is attached to a letter dated 10th October 2024 to the Director Banking, Bank of Uganda, signed by Jennifer Muhuruzi, the Accounting Officer, Treasury Operations. That letter is here with the attachment. It is received, and let the record capture it. And like I made a promise here, delivering as promised, everything you're giving me is going to be secured. I put it in this envelope, and I shall seal it in the presence of everyone.
Chair,
but I'm receiving. Wait.
Can we sign at least to say I've submitted?
The signature is here on record. He has submitted it.
The signatures of the ladies.
No. I'm saying the submission is on record here. It is already captured. That's why I use the word. It is captured as such.
Chair, but when submitted to the committee, there is no requirement of sealing.
No. The reason I gave the reasons for that ruling, and I am not going to revert to that. Procedure against the chair? Okay. Mr. Semakula, do you have evidence of payment instruction to ADF dated when? On 25th September 2024, payment instructions to African Development Fund, ADF. Okay, it is here for 8.596824.26 USD. It is attached to a letter signed by Jennifer Muhuruzi, dated 16th October 2024. It is received and inserted. The date is 16th October 2024. Okay, Mr. Semakula, do you have a letter dated 10th October is what I already have, and you have given me, and you said it is a document you needed. There you go. I have retained the one of interest to me. I have also received, I have in my possession an email, 24. Okay. Some of them are repeated. 10th of attaching handover notes for period 30th October to 11th October 30th September 20. Okay. You have them. I have this one to Aziza Nabitalo. You have a copy? And it is yours. It is dated October. Yes.
So that means they are tasking Bank of Uganda.
Actually, start with that. That is okay. Or before that, okay?
From talking, because I have issues with the way Bank of Uganda operates. And we have a senior in this. So it is the seniority to answer. Because it's a common fact.
Who is the senior now?
The senior who gave out the money. You know? Two.
Honorable Kayondo, on that one, it will not be answered.
Two, Chair.
Because, let me give my reasons, because the record must capture my reasons for the ruling. That will not be answered. Why? Bank of Uganda is here. They are yet to speak today. They spoke yesterday. Let's go to the next question that goes to account.
They know who selects whom to pay, because not all people who are on the payment line are paid. Who selects? Chair, you know very well that they pay against an invoice. How can somebody tell you that there was a change? We are supposed to pay this one and then they instructed us to pay the other. Does it mean that they have two invoices in the system?
Honorable Kayondo, your questions are valid, legitimate. The beauty is those ones who are being chased, you have mentioned, are thieves. These are not thieves. These are not thieves. And you know, let me tell you, colleagues, let's guard people's names. Supposing at the end of the inquiry, you do not find them culpable, or these ones culpable, and you have already called them thieves, I will not entertain that. I will disallow. So, Honorable Kayondo, your legitimate questions should be shelved for now until we get to the right witness to answer them.
My name is Sebamala Richard from Chanamukara. I only have one question.
One question, good.
One. I want the Accountant General to be on record that this is unprecedented.
He is already on record.
Are you sure? If I bring evidence that there are payments beyond this before that have been paid, are you ready to take the go?
To do what?
Go on record. Are you ready to take the fall? You put it on record.
Switch on.
I'm asking, finally, if I bring records of payments that have left Bank of Uganda, or that have left Ministry of Finance to different beneficiaries and have ended up in different beneficiaries, are you ready to take the fall? Go on record.
Yes. Yeah, you are now on record.
Chair, I'm on record. I said that the nature of this transaction is the first of its nature, in this form and of this amount. We have never had an incident where debt is being diverted.
But there have been instances where different beneficiaries have gotten money from Ministry of Finance. Not attempts. Not attempts. There have been...
Honorable Sebamala, you have asked your question. Affirmative or negative?
Chair, I want to answer.
I think I should really add just my question. Yeah. Are there instances, Ministry of Finance, where the beneficiaries have changed hands during payment? Apart from this one?
Well, not which has been brought to my attention. Because for me, what I know, as I said, that this one is very unique. We pay the biggest chunk of money.
My problem is not this one. My problem is the number of transactions that have left Ministry of Finance and have not reached the intended beneficiaries.
Can we save ourselves by doing it this way? Honorable Sebamala, get the documents. Wait. Get Makula is not a discharged witness. I am only allowing him to exit for purposes of what he told me and told us earlier. We shall have him again. Finally, Vice Chair.
Makula, I wanted to confirm from you. Did you do a thorough check of your system? If yes, do you have a minute or a report on that? Do you have a report?
Okay.
Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, we do.
Yes, can we get that report that you did the thorough check of your system, that the system was not hacked?
Okay.
Yes?
Okay. Chair, do I have to answer?
Yes?
Do I have to answer?
Yes.
Yes,
no, you are switching on the mic, off the mic.
I really want to appeal again, because the forensic audit going on. This forensic audit should be able to tell us what actually happened and where it happened. Okay? So, I guess once that information comes, then we should be able to pinpoint and say this is what happened. And I was very clear. I said that for us, when we look at our application processes, everything is okay. If even now, if you go to the system and look for roadway, we do not have roadway on our database as a government supplier. So let's wait and see what could have happened. That's what I'm saying, that let's wait and see what could have happened. Chair, I also want to assure you members and the public that we at Bank of Uganda, it is really in our interest that these things do not reoccur, because we have to build confidence. Okay? So we and Bank of Uganda must work together to ensure that these things do not reoccur.
Chair, I raised the question that he speaks to the documents and to his submission. That from Minister of Finance, we did this and this.
I'm coming to that. I thought I was very clear.
Yeah, because
control systems have you now put in place after the incidents? What have you done? Because if you are saying everything is normal,
the summary of what you are saying, Honorable Itungo, which I agree with, the Deputy Governor said there was...
he must be reminded that this committee has the powers to drag and summon his presence.
I decline to remind him, and I expunge that proposal for reminder.
Of roses. We shall come for him.
Madam Kunyenji, switch off that microphone. You are not speaking in this meeting. So, Minister of Finance, please go and mint money for us. They have given us instructions which they gave you. Where are the instructions that you received? And two, where are my documents? The documents that we requested for yesterday. You're welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members of COSASE. Very good afternoon to second request. I think I must have misunderstood you because I thought I was handing the documents on Friday. You requested that all the documents that this committee requires should be brought in by Friday. So I had the Friday date in mind, so I'm sorry if I misunderstood you that you wanted them today.
That I will respond very quickly. I was categorical in the end because I said I accordingly amend my earlier guidance of receiving the documents on Friday. I said come with them tomorrow, which is today. I will not treat this as a refusal. I will now quickly, without wasting time, require that you produce them today before close of business.
Obliged, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Yep. Where is the instruction that you relied on to pay roadway?
Honorable Chair, all the instructions...
First, where is the... You said Mr. Poloti is not in the country.
No, he's not in the country.
We said the next person.
The next person should have been Christina Lupo, but we needed to leave some staff in the office to execute government business and banks. So, Mr. Charles Mugisa, who's here, is standing in for.
Why did you bring Charles Mugisa?
Charles Mugisa is the Director of Banking.
The one who wrote the documents that I have referred to?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Oh, yes. Okay. We are happy to have Mr. Charles Mugisa. You are welcome to COSASE. It's a friendly committee, as you've seen.
Thank you, Chair.
So, Chair, you've asked the question that documents have been provided asking us to do payment. But let me be on record. The requests for payments from the Minister of Finance are not submitted in hard copy. Are submitted electronically. And Charles Mugisa, who is the Director of Banking, who receives the things on a daily basis, can talk to that.
Mr. Charles Mugisa, where is the instruction from Ministry of Finance asking you to pay roadway and MJS? No, you have not switched on. Now it's on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and honorable members. Mr. Chairman, we have the instruction that was sent to us by the ministry to pay roadway, and this will be submitted with the documents this afternoon.
Who instructed you from Ministry of Finance?
Mr. Chairman, I think we need to, maybe we came in this morning with the understanding that we are supposed to go through how files move from the ministry to the bank. And that's why we came with the highly power delegated delegation of IT, which can explain how this specific.
I don't know how. I don't want to know because I'm not yet at the level of asking for that job. I want to know who instructed you. By this time, after 3 months of this matter in public domain, you know the specific person, because these are people you deal with on a daily.
And Chair, he said he has the instruction to pay this, is it Broadway or Roadway? Let him just finalize on that. That's what the question was, where is the instruction and it was from who?
Yeah.
No, let him pass. That's very important answer.
Okay, no. The member is entitled. Get to the microphone.
Chair,
wait. Get to the microphone, Honorable Kayondo.
Chair receives instructions as the banker to government from the Accountant General's office. And these are the instructions we received. However, to be very specific, I wish to hand over to my colleague here, who is the head of IT, it will come to me at some point, but to guide us from how.
I don't want processes. They have been explained. 2, we are dealing with past tense.
Yes.
Not even past participle.
Mr. Chair, I need to check.
No?
Who did?
IT, do you know? Who? From your findings.
Well, Chair, I thank you, because I think by drawing a distinction between the two institutions and how they operate, you actually get to the bottom of the issue. The processes that happened in the Ministry of Finance, I think, have been explained, but the bank is not part of those processes.
That's absolutely correct.
So what?
Tell us yours.
So what happened is that once they have done whatever they have done, as they explained, for us we get a file.
Yes.
And that file is from Ministry of Finance. The way we know that it's from Ministry of Finance is because we have automated these processes. That file is signed digitally. That digital signature.
Tell us your name first.
Edward Mugerwa.
Edward Mugerwa, yes.
I'm the acting executive director for IT at Bank of Uganda. That is the instrument we get. We don't get a signed form from somebody instructing the bank.
Yes.
We get a file. That file is digitally signed, and the systems automatically verify that this file is from
this signature is authorized.
This signature is for Ministry of Finance.
No, is authorized.
Yes, is authorized and is for Ministry of Finance.
The IT department has the capacity to know who signed this, correct?
Now, yes, it has the capacity to know.
From October to now,
yes.
Have you found out who issued the instructions? You know, this is not a question that requires narration.
It may require narration because you are interpreting in the form of somebody signing.
No.
It's an electronic.
IT has the capacity to go and know that this instruction was generated by Medad Lubega.
Yes.
Have you established the person who authorized or who instructed Bank of Uganda from your system?
Let me explain a bit on the
explain
process.
Let's get the context.
What happens is that we have what we call keys. These are security keys. Other people call them secrets. Now, at every month, Minister of Finance gives us their secret, which they call a public key. But they also retain what we call a private key, which is only known to them. Now, when they send us a file, that file is signed by their private key. And that private key, as I've said, it's only known by them. So when the file comes and our systems pick it up, the first thing they verify, who has sent this file. And the way the system verifies is by checking against what they gave us, the public key, and verifying that the signature on this file is Minister of Finance. We don't know on the other side who authorized that payment.
No,
but that payment,
by the time you know this is the signature on this file is Minister of Finance, they are able to identify the person with that key.
Chair, unfortunately, that information is only with Minister of Finance. For us, the only thing they have given us is a secret. It is an electronic token. That's what they give us to verify that the file is from them.
Who gives you the electronic token?
Who? The electronic token, we get it from Minister of Finance. And
No, there must be somebody.
Okay, I know.
We are dealing with the matter where there was no cyber involved.
Who in particular gives that?
Sends us that file.
You know, why I opened my envelope, which I have not sealed.
That we
look at this.
That one, Chair, I'm going to ask my operation.
This was printed off the system. Look at it. Right?
Chair, this
From
is
their end.
This is a Minister of Finance.
Yes, that's
so I may not be in a position.
I understand. I'm not telling you comment on whether it is accurate or not.
Yes.
I expect you to give me a similar one from your end.
Yes, we will, as the
which says pay roadway.
Yes.
And is it MJS?
Yes.
But here it is concerning.
It's
that we invited them, not only yesterday, but also today, to come and answer or respond to issues relating to these particular transactions. They come here today, probably they even have answers, but giving us a narrative without the evidence. I find it intentional, Chair. And that's why, for these particular two witnesses, I would pray that you hand them over to CID. They can pick these documents. Bank of Uganda is very near. Bank of Uganda is very near here.
Procedure.
These are fundamental questions.
You are put on procedure.
Procedure. Chair, your guidance is a ruling.
True.
You've already ruled on that over the issue of taking people, because these are.
Honorable Mwada Nkunyinji.
You gave a guidance.
I guide and I guided earlier.
Yes.
Who we interact with in the
Yes.
of this case.
Yes.
We interact with IT of Minister of Finance and specifically a gentleman called Yahweh.
Yahweh? Yahweh who?
Tony Yahweh.
Okay, he's in IT.
Yes, in the Minister of Finance.
When these events happened, since they happened 3 months ago,
Yes, Chair.
has your Department of IT been called into play
Yes.
to do anything? Have you made a report to the Deputy Governor?
Yes. We've been part of the internal audit. I think the Deputy Governor already updated you on that.
So you were not here, you don't even know what you updated me on.
My apologies.
Yes, your sins are forgiven. But have you made a report?
We have made reports, not one report.
On this matter?
On this matter.
How many?
We made a report on the payment to roadway, and we also made a report on the payment on MGS International. Yes, but we have also been participating in internal audit. We participated in internal audit, and we participated in the forensic, and of course the ongoing investigations with CID and the Auditor General.
You have recorded a statement with CID.
We have recorded
Have
statements.
you?
Personally, I was
Mr.
not.
Mugisa.
Mugerwa.
Sam Mugerwa,
Yes.
part of your staff have recorded.
Yes, my staff have recorded statements with CID.
Who are those?
Mr. Andrew Omara has recorded the statement. Mr. Andrew Ebine has recorded the statement.
Andrew Omara?
Yes.
And then is Andrew who?
Andrew Ebine.
The one who is here.
They are all here.
Oh, where is Andrew Omara? Oh, okay. Who else?
As well as Mr. Javan Batimeto.
Javan Batimeto.
Yes.
Only those ones?
From IT, only those ones have. Okay, there is one who is not here.
Who?
Brian.
Brian who?
Brian Kangwaji.
Ka?
Brian Kangwaji. Yes. He's on leave, but he also recorded the statement.
He's on leave.
Yes.
Okay. Now, after those two reports, shall we have copies of those two reports? Those reports will be given to us by close of business today.
Noted, Chair.
Have you seen any other reports? Are they conclusive on who received information from your end? Not given. Who received the instructions?
Chair, the reports go through the processes and the controls that we have in place. In terms of who, as I have said, the file comes in automatically. It's not a document given to an individual. So we follow that process from the time the file is received up to the time the payment is
Who
effected.
follows when you say we?
We followed that
There
process.
must be a particular transaction person or desk person.
When it comes,
Yes.
does it go to the whole of Bank of Uganda or it goes to a certain person or particular?
Absolutely.
Where does it go?
The
That
process, the process, it's really a straight-through process. Very minimal human intervention. The only intervention to stop that process is if Minister of Finance has asked us to stop. But otherwise,
Mr. Chairman, it is just simple. When it comes, does it go to everyone or it goes to a particular person? That file, who receives it or who received it in this particular transaction?
okay, there is no person receiving these instructions. The instruction comes in form of a file, a digital file, to a system called the MFTS, the Managed File Transfer System.
Who manages that system?
The people who administrate it are here. Mr. Andrew Omara, Mr. Andrew Ebine.
The people who administer it are those ones you've mentioned.
Yes.
Okay, now the question is, this particular one,
Yes.
who administered it? No.
Okay.
Who? They can't be all of them.
Maybe I need to explain what I mean by that.
By administer.
An administrator ensures that the system is running, but there is no interaction that this file, I'm waiting for file to come. The system will automatically pick it. The role of the administrator is to ensure that that particular system is operating smoothly, but not to interfere or receive files. The file is automatically received and processed.
Let me understand it this way. When instructions come from Ministry of Finance, because it's automated, once finance keys in, okay, the instructions, without any human intervention from Bank of Uganda, your system just pays?
I don't
or
know.
there is a verification point from Bank of Uganda?
Now, for external payments, it's a T+2 process. We have a window of 48 hours within which we interact with Ministry of Finance. We give them information that we received this payment. These are the details.
So who interacted with the ministry?
Not everyone.
Okay, who interacted? Yes, you did a report as IT.
I will request Claire. Claire is from the banking team. She interacted, she's also here. She interacted with the Minister of Finance.
On what? Okay, Claire, where are you? Oh, Claire is here. Press the mic. Claire who? Yes.
So, thank you, Chair.
Get the microphone closer.
Sorry. So the interaction is in terms of providing the statement to Ministry of Finance, which is done the following day after the payments have been processed. And this is sent by email to the Ministry of Finance. And those statements, our expectation is that
The email says what?
please receive statements for files, for transactions processed the previous day. Yes?
Did you send that email?
Not personally, but one of our
Who
colleagues in
sent?
banking department. Eunice Kahimakazi.
Okay?
Kahimakazi.
Kahimakazi.
No, she's not.
Okay.
Who sent the statement to Ministry of Finance?
Where is Eunice Kahimakazi?
She works in the customer service.
Then what
section.
about you? What did you do?
What was your role?
I ensure, part of my roles is to ensure that we have,
What was your role in this
in this
transaction?
particular payment,
Yes.
we received an instruction.
You.
Yes, received that email from Mubarak, as you read properly,
Saying that?
he would like a SWIFT message for that particular payment, the first one.
Mubarak was asking about the SWIFT message of paying to who?
Paying to IDA.
That you have paid?
Yes.
No. Before payment, what was your role?
See, the process is straight through. There's really no role.
You had no role?
Yes.
But you see, yesterday, Bank of Uganda, were you here yesterday?
No, sir.
Bank of Uganda said yesterday, before paying, they make that inquiry and expect a response within 2 days. Were you involved in that inquiry?
No, sir.
Who did the inquiry, Mr. Mugisa?
Mr. Chairman, let me explain that bit. We have a service level agreement with the Ministry of Finance. We have a service level agreement with the Ministry of Finance. It spells out responsibilities that the Ministry of Finance has to do on EFTs and what we have to do as their banker. Now, when a file comes to BOU, it goes through the MTFS and then is downloaded, and then it debits the specific accounts where the specific transactions are being dealt with. For instance, if it's going to pay, say IDA, it will look for the account where that money is coming from the accounts of finance at BOU, and it will debit that account. So when it does that,
if it is paying roadway.
Okay. Yes, if it's paying roadway, still to look for the account where the money is coming from. Now, immediately these accounts are debited. E-statements or electronic statements are sent to Ministry of Finance. And these statements are sent to a group email. Okay? To a group email which has various people in the Ministry of Finance, including the people who are here this morning. Now, we as a banker and part of customer service, we also extract the statements and then send them to these people again, just in case probably the e-statement bounced or something has happened.
There are two possibilities. They have been bounced, or because they are E, somebody could have hacked into. So you want them to verify.
Exactly.
Was this done?
I'm coming to that.
No, before, don't even come to another.
It wasn't done, but I have
it was not done.
Yes.
Why?
No, the confirmation was not done. Why? The SLA says that We are sending you these statements for you to see where, one, the debits have been made, whether it's the correct accounts, and two, the beneficiaries are the correct ones. The ministry is supposed to get back to us at 4 o'clock of the day when these statements are sent out in the morning. Okay? Now, in the SLO, it's spelled out that if you don't get back to me by this time, I deem your instructions correct. And that's what we based on. So, in these particular circumstances, in these particular transactions, no one at the ministry came back to us to check whether we did the inquiry through sending the statements. Yes, the emails. Yes.
That's where my question is, who sent the email from your end?
You've had, there is a Eunice.
Eunice Mwana Kahima. Kahimakas. Okay.
Kahimakas, yes.
Good. She's the one who sent the email.
Yes.
To who?
She sends it to
she
sent to a group email, but I think
do you have a copy of that email?
We don't have it here, but we have it.
But to
a group email under finance, but also certain individuals who are spelled. When we bring you the email, you'll see that the people were.
Chair, there's one thing I wanted to get clarity on. He was very elaborate, alluding to Minister of Finance, that whenever they send an email by a communication, it is received by a group. I want to presuppose that equally from Bank of Uganda, Eunice cannot originate an email without copying to officers of Bank of Uganda.
Correct.
Who are those who are copied in our communication from Bank of Uganda to Minister of Finance? You must be part of them, and probably the deputy governor. So this goes to us. Who are those? Because here, this one,
okay.
If Eunice is not to be seen at this stage, we could rely equal on copies received by them. While
tulimu kwe kumanya ekitufu kiriki kubanga ku sente zino ezoogerwako ezaabula oba ze baasindika awakyamu nga zaali za kusasulwa ebitongole ebyatuwola ssente omuli African Development Bank ne World Bank ate nezeesanga nga zigenze mu individual companies. Olwaleero tubadde bamukisa tubadde n'ekitongole ekyenannyini ssente oba Minister of Finance ne tufuna omukisa ne batuwa biki bye baatambuza wakati awo mu kusobola okulabika nti process eno etuuka osasulwa ssente. Otunuulira empapula zikulaga nti buli kimu kyali bulungi. Bank of Uganda naye tugamba naffe twakola ogwaffe wetubabuuza eno yali cyber crime oba abagezigezi bakwata mu byuma batugamba ebyuma byaffe byakalimagezi biri bulungi. Kakati lwe lutalo lwe tukyalimu okwongera okunyigiriza Bank of Uganda sobola okumanya ku babiri ani ayakola olugezigezi n'asobola okulabika nti esente z'omuna Uganda aziwaayo oba azibba. Lukyali lutalo lw'amaanyi kubanga si kyangu ng'abantu babiri buli omu akugamba nze ogwange nagukola. So tukyanoonyereza paka nga tufunye ekituufu. Naye twagala kakasa eri Bannayuganda nti zino zijja kulabika kubanga Katonda si yakola era eno bantu wadde batugamba kompyuta naye kompyuta it is garbage in garbage out. So kompyuta agitulako n'agiteekamu information gwe twagala okumanya ani yakikola wa mu Bank of Uganda wa mu finance oba waaliwo okwekobaana awo wetuli.
Ready? Ekisookera ddala kyannaku nnyo nti millions of dollars eziri mu buwumbi n'obuwumbi zabbibwa okuva mu akawunti z'eggwanika ly'eggwanga, naye nga enziba yaazo bw'otunuulira omukululo guno gwonna mulimu abakungu mu ministry eya finance, mulimu n'abakungu mu Bank of Uganda, n'agamba kampani simanyi Broadway simanyi biki gayisobola okuba nga gaabwe. Era ffe tubadde tulowooza nti abantu basaana kuteekebwa ku mpingu, tubakunye nga bali ku mpingu, kubanga bye boogera byonna byamatankane. Sente ezaabula, minisitule ya finance egamba yaweereza instruction ate yeegaana amakampani agoogerwako. Bank of Uganda etugamba bana bali mu IT nti bo instructions ze baafuna z'amakampani gali agakola ki agoogerwako agasasulwa. Kakati wakati awo mu kunoonyereza kwe tukyalimu olaba nga buli omu ajuliza munne. Kati batugamba waliwo omukyalo omusimanyi Eunice nti ye yateeka yanyiga ebbaton erikola epesa erisembayo, naye Bank of Uganda etugamba nti yafuna instruction nga amakampani gano ag'ekicupuli ng'ate minisitule ya finance ge yasaba basasule nti bwe baba baddamu okwanukula kwabwe baverifyinge ne babawa statement, minisitule ya finance yasirika buki yasirika busirisi. Kakati ebyo byonna bibuuzo bikulu nnyo bye twesanze. Kyakubiri, tebannateekawo wadde kunoonyereza bweka kitongole ki minisitule ya finance ne Bank of Uganda bazibako billions ze sente. Tubagamba nti mugoba w'emiyembe wali okusasula license ne bamukwata mu kibuga, naye abasajja babba billion bakyali mu SC bajja bayinaayina, tebwali wadde gwe bakwata wadde gwe bali primandinze nti bamutadde ku suspension olw'okubulankanya kwa sente zino. Naye sente zaabula, ebitongole bye bakozesa balinga bye babiragira, simanyi onaanoonyereze onaakola atya katuli myezi na myezi. So ng'akakiiko era nga ffe bamemba tetugenda kukkiriza kunyigira muntu yenna ku liiso, era oba gwe batiisatiisizza tagenda kuba mukuffe. Twagala ebintu bino biveeyo mu lujjudde. Zino sente si za Mwai Museveni oba wano simanyi ndo deputy governor oba minister wa finance. Kati kirabika zino sente Kasayija ne ministry y'enamba ya finance yonna be bamu ku babbi. Bank of Uganda governor or deputy governor yomu kubaki ne board yonna. Kati abakozi bana abawansi betukyakunyako batugaye mukyala bamuyita Eunice, naye akakola ke bayita obuyisi Eunice tekasobola kubba billioni kokka. Kitegeeza nti zino sente bonna bazirimu bagezako kati kidda bbali, kuba batugambye ne statement ona akulya IT takolanga na statement wadde ku poliisi yonna, naye nga yakulya IT mu Bank of Uganda. Beebulankanya nti ebyuma byesasula byokka ani gweyizo siruwaza mu ggwanga Uganda. So ababbi bali mu Bank of Uganda, ababbi bali mu Ministry ya Finance, nezino bazebbira. So tugenda kunoonyereza paka ku muntu asembayo, era tulimaninga tweraga buli kitongole kiveeyo n'amaanyi gonna tugenda ku exposing buno obubbi n'obulyake, naye nga tukyanoonyereza kiteeberezebwa okuba nti bano abantu beenyigiramu guno gwali munyago gwabwe. Of course Ministry of Finance ebadde yeekwasa nti company teri listed, of course ya Chupuli, naye ate Bank of Uganda bwe tugamba nti bo gye bagira okusasula. Omwami gwe batugamba esimanyi bamuyita Mubaraka nti Mubaraka ye yasindika nti basasule ezino company. Bali batugambye ebiwandiiko bye baleeta biri mu hard copy, bali batugamba bo bafuna mu system. Approvals ziba online, ziba automated mu system ya Bank of Uganda. So tulowooza nti bagezako kutwetoolooza na kuwuddisa nga tubeetegereza tubakenga ababbi bali mu Bank of Uganda. Actually governor are not taking up political responsibility, ne minister of finance are not taking up political responsibility. Fe tugenda kufaafagana nabo kubanga committee tulina okunya n'okwekenneenya, otherwise buno obubbi obulyake bino byonna batwe kuyita bbali, naye abaatubba ye deputy governor ne board ne bonna abakozi zo sente baleka bazigabana. Era tasobola twali tudimandi nga tumanye baali mu Uganda sente zino nga zijjibwayo. Twagala okumanya mu Ministry ya Finance simanyi accountant general bye batuwadde byonna tebimatiza kuffe nga bammemba tulineko maybe answers nakola ki, kuba buli omu atuleka wakati awo bagamba bo twakola kino ne bali twakola kino kyokka sente zaabula. Tebalina wadde gwe basuspendinze okulema okususpendingayo omuntu yenna mu Bank of Uganda n'okulema okususpendingayo omuntu yenna mu Ministry ya Finance. Kyeraga lwatu nti ababbi be bakulya Bank of Uganda be bakulya ne Ministry ya Finance tujja kubazuula.
Tebunya omubaka Nakaseke Central, ekirungi omuntu ne bw'olimba otya era bagamba ennaku z'omubbi zibeera ana zokka, ne bweba neebuzaabuza oli ne bw'anaalimba ebifaanana bitya, kubanga bw'otunulira mukulu Ssemakula accountant general agamba afe abalodiyo tetubalina ku system. Ate ye eno IT department ya Bank of Uganda ekugamba afe batugamba tusasule abalodiwe. Kwegamba confusion eri awo, naye ekirungi nga committee fe tuliwo okuwuliriza, then at the end tulyoke tukole judgment. Naye mu byonna ndabawo obunafu mu management ya institution za government. era kyetuva tugamba nti olwayo Uganda ekyamazima eri mu ICU intensive care unit kuba buli gyokwata yonna yonna olaba nga system zonna zibootaboota kati n'ogamba oba wawalamulamuko kubanga olwaleero bw'otunula accountant general akugamba ng'olaba naye yennyini tali in charge of the system akugamba ate gende wa Jennifer ogenda okudduka ewa Jennifer akola authorization ng'ate naye yennyini akugamba ate eddukira ewa Chikenyi commission owa payment level kati ate bwodduka eno okutuuka eno mu Bank of Uganda nga bakugamba receptionist customer care ye yakwanaganya eyo transaction kanolabira ddala ng'ekituufu obuzibu bwonna buli ku level of leadership obuzibu bwonna buli ku management naye ng'akakiiko ffe tuliwo okusooka okutunalizinga oba okwekenneenya n'okukenenula ensonga then at the end of it tuwulire bannayuganda kiki ekirina okukolebwa naye mu byonna katuli kulaga bannayuganda kiki ekigenda maaso mu institutioni zaabwe ze balina okuwooninga.